Did you know that stress has become the biggest culprit in dysregulating our nervous systems, posing a huge threat to the 8 billion people on the planet? Unfortunately, this is an all too common aspect of modern life, impacting nearly everyone. But if you're ready to take charge of your nervous system so it can work for you rather than against you, then I invite you to keep listening. Hello and welcome back to the Discover WellBeing podcast. I'm your host, Allison Adams, a holistic health and leadership coach and consultant dedicated to helping you thrive in all aspects of your life. In this episode, I'll be covering the importance of a well-regulated nervous system so you can say goodbye to burnout and hello to greater health and well-being. Let's dive into the various aspects of the nervous system so you can better understand what is going on inside in this internal landscape, and how you can actively heal, recalibrate, and maintain balance and peace within. There are 3 major threats of a dysregulated nervous system that maybe you can identify with. There are many more, but I'll start with the 3. The first is chronic fatigue, also known as burnout. The second, anxiety and depression. And thirdly, physical health decline. When we look at chronic fatigue, it's a constant state of stress that your nervous system is under and operating from. It creates a state of high alert, hypervigilance, which then drains your energy levels, leaves you feeling perpetually tired and disconnected with what truly matters in your life. What we know about burnout is that it's highly debilitating and it's increasing in the rate that we see in the news and in our workplaces, in our homes. It impacts our relationships, our personal health, performance. We literally see it all around us, and it's escalating. So there is a great sense of urgency for each and every one of us to take care of our own nervous system. Burnout is simply telling us that we have been on a constant treadmill of do, go, and our bodies begin to see this as a baseline of operation. It's a physiological state that affects our mental acuity, our emotional resilience and clarity, and so much more. It begins to erode all aspects of our life, and that's why it's a threat. Burnout is something that is a wired pattern, but when you learn what to do, you can eventually disrupt the pattern and set in motion a new recalibrated way of managing your energy. This is sustained well-being and longevity. The next is anxiety and depression. Even if it's low-grade anxiety or low-grade depression, your nervous system is sending signals that you're out of balance. And that contributes to emotional instability, feeling as though you're out of control, that you're not connecting with self, with others, and the world around you. That you're almost seeing that life is not for you, but it's against you. And that's not the truth. The beauty is that you have the capacity to take control of your nervous system and your reality. You just need to understand how it operates and appreciating just how much power you have to actually connect and rebalance yourself. The next is physical health decline. We know that stress is a silent killer and it's also very contagious. So we have to be that much more aware of our circumstances and the people we surround ourselves with, the environments, because we have our own stress, and then we bring in stress from people in our environment. It's a lot like secondhand smoke that doesn't belong to us. It comes through us by the way of our family members, the people we work with, people in society, even watching the news. We are receptive, energetic beings, and this transfer of energy can be inherited and received from other people. So we want to be really aware when we're pursuing the regulation of our nervous system. The domains of well-being, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical, are so important, and you need to create boundaries around it. So looking to avoid high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, weakened immune system, these are all the ways you are taking a proactive approach so it doesn't manifest in the mind and body. These inner and outer landscapes are affecting our nervous system, and it plays out in a myriad of different ways depending on your life situation. As we relate to the different areas and people in our lives, those scenarios can set us up for a state of well-being versus a physical health decline. This is our goal. Now let's look at the nervous system and the vagal theory. Your nervous system is a command center for your body. It's responsible for sending and receiving all types of information. And like I mentioned, we are constantly sharing energetic fields. Our nervous system regulates everything from the heartbeat to the ability to respond to stress. And a key component of the system is your vagus nerve, which plays a crucial role in the parasympathetic nervous system. You might have heard of it as the rest and digest state. So the vagal tone refers to the activity of the vagus nerve, and that is the key player of controlling the heart rate, digestion, your moods, hormones, energy, etc. Having high vagal tone, just like having high heart rate variability, which I did a whole podcast on this, so I encourage you to go and look it up, is associated with better physical and emotional well-being and longevity. It helps your body relax faster after a stressful episode, come back to a state of homeostasis, and it indicates a more resilient and adaptive nervous system. I mentioned we all have thresholds of stress, and that's our baseline. But when we can begin to teach our systems how to come back quicker, faster after stress, this is when you know you're in charge. And the body will begin to then automatically readjust. In the beginning, it's a little like training a puppy. We need to set those guidelines of where we are in those scenarios and what is the behavior that we're looking for in these given situations. In this case, how do you want to behave? How do you want to respond? How do you want to enjoy this moment? Even if it's stressful, you still have the ability of choice to reflect and to grow from the situation and ultimately find better health. The best way to explain the vagal theory is that it's the higher vagal tone that's associated to where you have a greater capacity to regulate your stress response. It can be improved through various practices, and these all relate to either breath work, meditation, yoga, walking in nature, coming back into a natural state of being. And this is how you retrain the nervous system to let go of that accumulated stress in your body. So your enhancing vagal tone helps in managing anxiety, promote better digestion, reducing heart rate, boosting overall health. Next are the benefits of a balanced nervous system. Let's look at mental clarity. This is something that I am seeing that people are desperately wanting, but I hear that they can't find it because they're so overwhelmed. They just don't want to deal with everything that's going on in their personal or professional lives, which means that they're in a state of imbalance. And there's so much information coming into the nervous system that it's maxed, and they can't find a clear signal to think. So they cannot connect to that deeper part of them, the intuitive wisdom, that creative, pure power and potential to take control of the situation, to have the confidence and the clarity that they're seeking. However, when your nervous system is balanced, it enhances the ability to focus, to think clearly, to be creative, and it's all about improving the executive higher prefrontal cortex capacity, and it gives you access to all of that creative power. The second benefit is emotional resilience. Did you know that 90% of our energy is actually drained through our emotions? It begins with our perception of things, whether it's safe, if it's a threat, how big is the threat, and all of this sends signals to our bodies, and those correspond to the emotional feelings. Within 6 seconds, our bodies are flooded with the energy of those feelings. If you're feeling upregulated, you're going to feel higher states of anxiety because you're perceiving something to be a threat. It could be a micro threat, it could be a non-threat, or it could be a very visible experiential threat. When we're balanced and calm, at peace and in control, that is the state of a regulated nervous system, which allows for better emotional flexibility and helping to stay calm and composed in challenging situations. And we've all heard that emotional intelligence is so important, which it is. However, when you have a dysregulated nervous system, it's really hard for you to tap into your emotional intelligence. And then there's the social emotional intelligence, meaning that you're relating to other people. And this could have a huge positive or negative impact based on the state of your nervous system and how you're then conveying the emotional intelligence. All of that will go to waste because you're being hijacked by your state of imbalance. Our performance with colleagues, relationships at home, our partners, all of this is interwoven into our nervous system. And it's responsible for how the signals are being sent and received throughout the body. So again, social emotional intelligence is tied to the nervous system. The next is physical health improvement. So balancing the nervous system supports vital functions such as immune response, cardiovascular health, leading to better physical health and reduced risk of chronic diseases. When you're in a state that your nervous system is not taxed, then you actually have the capacity, the desire to fulfill on the commitment of going to the gym, of taking walks, of doing all the things that reflect a healthy lifestyle. However, when you're chronically drained, imbalanced, you're not functioning mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually in the way you want to in order to keep those commitments. So don't be hard on yourself. Just know that chronic disease is very real when you're not connected to managing and regulating your health and well-being. Moving into practical tips for recalibrating your nervous system, it's not just about reducing stress, it's about enhancing your body's natural ability to handle whatever comes your way. This is stress resilience. And here are a few ways you can go about it. The first is getting adequate sleep. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene is essential for allowing your nervous system to recover and regenerate. In the evening, when we sleep, these are the moments and the opportunities to regenerate at a cellular level and at a mental level. It allows your brain to catalog what you dealt with through the day and then allowing your mind and your body to release it so you don't carry it forward to the next day. This is what's happening to millions of people. They're not finding that deep restorative sleep, and it becomes a depleting, losing proposition, and it becomes a high risk. So I encourage you just to look at sleep as one of the easiest ways to recalibrate your system. The next is regular committed exercise. As you know, I am a huge proponent of yoga, meditation, breath work, but you can swim, do tai chi, walks in nature, hikes, anything at all that's allowing your body's stress to leave and increase the vagal tone. So this is literally because we are pure energy that we need to recalibrate that energy. These patterns that have been active inside of you for days, months, years, and sometimes decades need to be released, and new energetic patterns need to come in. You may have listened to my other podcast, Meditation as Medicine, and I shared that Harvard did a study in just meditating minutes a day over the course of 8 weeks that you can rewire your brain. So then you'll have new physiological responses. With regular practice, you can significantly improve your mental, emotional health by enhancing the vagal tone, reducing the stress, and repatterning the brain to come into a coherent, optimal state of functioning. These are just a few of the impacts and a few of the benefits and a few of the ways you can go about resetting, recalibrating your nervous system. I'm merely wanting to impart that managing your nervous system and health is not just about dealing with stress. It's about transforming our approach to health, life, and well-being. By adopting strategies, new techniques, and practices to enhance the vagal tone, you ultimately have a new baseline, which then regulates your nervous system so you can significantly improve the quality of your life, and you'll be able to thrive. Podcast friend, if you're ready to take control of your health and well-being, subscribe to the Discover WellBeing podcast for more insights, strategies, and conversations. I also invite you to check out my new Holistic Health and Leadership Solutions, which are 3 types of memberships that will support you in all the areas I love to cover in my work and in my podcasts. To close out this episode, I want to say thank you for being a listener. It means so much, and I would enjoy hearing from you. So please leave any comments in the area below or contact me on social media. And with that, much love. Stay well.